Hey babes, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how I remove and replace my old frontal with a nice new fresh frontal. Alright, so let's just skip to chat and get right into it. Okay, so the first thing I do is I go ahead and I bleach my knots on the entire frontal. I had lost the footage to me bleaching my knots. I don't know what happened, but anyways, I go ahead and I use the L'Oreal lightning box dye. I believe I usually use like BW2 powder with developer, but I don't live near a hair store, so I had to go ahead and get what I needed from the drugstore, and they only sell the box dye, so I went ahead and I used that for it. And now here you see me just washing all of that out. And now I'm just taking my purple shampoo to go ahead and calm that orangey tone out of the frontal. If you guys don't know what purple shampoo is, it is used kind of like a color corrector in makeup. So when you bleach your knots and you get that orangey tone, that brassy tone, we don't want that. So you go ahead and you use your purple shampoo to go ahead and tone that down so it can be the perfect skin tone shade. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use some regular shampoo. By regular shampoo, I mean whatever regular old shampoo you use. It's not like a color correcting shampoo like the last one. I'm gonna be using the shampoo that comes in my box dye. I love black box dye. It's something about it, like when I buy other dyes, like there's something about it that just, it hit different. Like I don't even know how to explain it. But anyways, I'm going to be using that shampoo that came in this black box dye, and I'm going to be rinsing the frontal, making sure I remove all that purple shampoo and making sure that I remove any previous bleach that's on there. guys can see here, my bleaching made a oopsie. It went so through the lace, like it's not even funny. So now I'm just blow drying the hair, but you know what, it's okay that it went through because like I said, I love black dye, so I'm gonna go ahead and dye my whole frontal black anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So anytime that happens, guys, if that does happen, it really happens. The reason it happens is because the bleach might be a little bit too on the watery side. You want it to be the perfect consistency so that it could sit on top and not seep through. But mine went ahead and seep through, but it's okay because I'm going to go ahead and like I said, I'm going to dye it black. And here is my hair dye. This is my favorite hair dye. I swear, like, oh my god, like this black hair is so different. It's just so shiny, like it's so luscious. I love it so much. I would never switch up on this dye. So now, as you can see here, I'm going ahead and I'm taking this hair coloring brush and I'm dyeing the top of the frontal, and I'm making sure to be very careful because the same way that bleach seep through is the same way hair dye can seep through. It's the same exact thing, and I don't want this to seep through and go ahead and dye on the lace, and then my lace will be black. So I'm just doing this very lightly. I'm making sure to cover all the blonde, and then I'm going to go ahead and dye the whole entire frontal. If you are still here, if you have made it this far in a video, that must mean that you're feeling me, sis. So go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button right down there in your right hand corner and hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time that I upload. now I'm just removing the frontal from the wig head. Everything is all dyed, and then bow, I had to go ahead and freeze frame that for y'all so y'all could see that it was giving scalp, period. So now I'm just removing that old frontal. Yes, gotta take off this old crunchy frontal. Not crunchy, my frontal's never crunchy. I'm just describing an old frontal. So I'm using my scissors. I should be using a seam ripper or like one of the little eyebrow razors, but I couldn't find one at the moment. So you know, whatever works, whatever you have handy. And I'm just zoomed in so I can show you guys that all you want to do is remove that first line of thread that connects your frontal to the dome cap. You might remove your last track, like sometimes it ends up removing it depending on how you sewed it, and that's fine, you can just sew it back on. But all you want to do is make sure that you remove that old frontal. And now I'm just removing the old thread, so any little pieces that didn't come out when you were going ahead and removing the frontal, you just want to go ahead and pluck those out with your fingers. And as you can see, I have a nice space to go ahead and sew on my new frontal. So now what you want to do is go ahead and pin that wig in place. You want to pin this down. You want to stretch out that piece of the dome cap that doesn't have any tracks on it so that you can go ahead and sew your frontal on. And I didn't have any T-pins, so I had to compromise and I had to go ahead and use some push pins. Ooh, child, the ghetto, I know, but hey, it worked for me and I got it done. We got to work with what we got. We got to use what we got. So I went ahead and I washed that frontal out. I washed the dye out of that frontal, you know, blow dried it, etc., etc. I did get a lot of dye on the legs. I don't know what was going on with me, but you know what, it's good. I know how to take it out. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and use my tinting spray that I made myself. I'm gonna do a tutorial on how I make that. And what I do is I just simply spray it onto the frontal. You can lay it on a paper towel or you can lay it on your wig head. And all I do is go ahead and I make sure that I'm patting that in place to make sure it stays on the frontal. Now I know this looks like a greenish brown color, but I promise when I put it against my skin, it is the perfect shade of brown for my skin. So yeah, all I'm doing is really saturating that on the frontal, making sure I get the entire hairline. And you don't have to go all the way up that lace piece that hangs off the frontal, because remember, you're going to cut that off anyway. Just make sure that you're really soaking that hairline in underneath the frontal. Now you could go ahead and let this air dry, but if you just want a little speed, you know, speed it up a little bit, you can just simply go ahead, grab your blow dryer and dry that tint right on there. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is sew on that frontal. Now I lost the footage again of when I had pinned the frontal in place. Don't worry y'all, all technical difficulties have been dealt with. Alright, so I got whatever was moving funky with my camera, I fixed it. So all I did was I went ahead and I pinned the frontal right on that black space that I showed you guys. Pin that right in place, and then it's so simple. All you gotta do is go ahead, thread your needle, and what you want to do is make sure that you thread that frontal right next to your last track. Now I slowed it down right here so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. because this is the part where people might get discouraged or they might feel like, oh my god, I'm gonna mess it up. When you finally get to the sides, do not be scared or don't be like, oh my god, okay, what do I have to do now? Just follow the natural flow of the frontal. So take the frontal and just pin it down. It might look weird, but trust me, it's the same way you made the wig originally. It just looks weird because you're changing the frontal. All you want to do is follow the natural flow of where the frontal is falling and pin it right down the sides of that wig. Like, don't even hesitate. You see that space, that small black space on the side? Yes, you just want to take it and pin that right down to the bottom of the wig. And there we go, you guys. It is that simple. Like, that's all there is to it. It's very simple. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Now if I wanted to, I can go ahead and I can add a track in that little space right there, but I'm like, whatever, I'll just leave it. But you can if you want to, but you really don't need to. It's not unnecessary. And don't worry about those triangles. That's just the way the wig was made, so that's just what it is. And here is the wig, and the frontal, as you guys can see, is laying flat. There's no lumps and bumps and clumps. Everything is looking all good. And here is some footage of the frontal on my head. Yes, I was feeling myself. Like, look at the frontal. It doesn't even look like it was removed and replaced. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. Know that I need you guys to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you get notified every single time that I upload. Follow me on Instagram at Jaiye Pierre, and I'll check you guys in my next video, okay? Bye!